All right, T-Bird families, welcome to the first annual T-Bird Talk. First annual, actually, we're going to try to do this once a week. Our goal is to increase our communication and help you get up to speed with what's going on at Tumwater High School. I have invited, as a talk show host today, I've invited three of my very best friends in the whole entire world. Unfortunately, we all work together, so we get to see each other all the time. We've got Marty Reed, the one, the only assistant principal at Tumwater High School. Jody Halterman, second year assistant principal at Tumwater High School, and Tim Graham. Little known fact, they're actually renaming the city. We're going to call it Timwater, and just because of the legend that Tim Graham is. So we're going to talk a little bit about, this is called T-Bird Talk, but before we get into some details that I know you're waiting for, we are going to get some information to you about what's going on over the next couple of weeks. Believe it or not, we've been a little busy, and we're trying to communicate the best we can, but we are going to try to get you some information. So before we do that, let's learn a little bit about each other. The question of today is, what do you collect? What do you collect? Tim Grant, kick us off. What is it that you collect that may be a little weird?
Well, I love to travel. Baseball is kind of my sport. So as I was prior to being an athletic administrator here, I was the head baseball coach at Tumwater High School. And our family's kind of collected mini baseball bats. You know, we've done it from minor league ballparks and major league ballparks. It's really kind of my son's collection, but I have contributed many to this, and I still contribute to his mini baseball bat collection.
Do you use like ping pong balls or something and hit them, play in the backyard or something?
Little tiny little wiffle balls, you know.
Oh, that's funny. All right, Jody, let's talk about the things that you collected that may be a little on the weird side.
It's funny that you asked that, Mr. Broom, because I have a little friend right here.
Oh boy.
I collect sloths. If you ever get to see my office, which I hope you all will, I have about 30 of them in here. So I usually ask students, hey, count my sloths, see how many you find. It's a fun game we play. I like sloths because they're slow, they are down to earth, they are relaxed, they take things in stride, they do all kinds of fun stuff. That's what I collect.
I'm not sure what else I can say about that. Thanks, Jody. Marty, talk to us about what you collect.
I think I would say the thing I collect the most of is other people's golf balls. I work down at the Valley doing a little marshaling, and there's certain places that the community, the THS community and Tumwater community in general, like to hit golf balls. And I've worked there probably 10, 12 years now. And I know most of those places. So if you've hit a golf ball in the woods at the Valley someplace, I probably have it.
Marty, that's good. You probably have several hundred that I have hit into the woods there. So that is, appreciate you picking those up for me. Last thing, I'm not a huge collector of much, but my family, wherever we go places, we buy t-shirts that have like the name of the place. Seaside, Cannon Beach, Steamboat Island, right? I don't understand it. I think it actually may be more of my family thing than me, but maybe there's going to be a quilt or something made in the future with all those named t-shirts. But so if you see, it's just a good reminder, I went to Seaside. Maybe I'm the only one, but we have the t-shirts to do it. So
OMAC?
have not been to OMAC yet. Okay. It is on my top 10 staycation list, I'm sure.
Okay.
All right, let's get kicking off some things that we can expect next week. I know one of the big pressing issues on parents is asking themselves, what about Chromebooks? What about textbooks? All the things I need to pick up. Marty Reed, can you talk to us a little bit about how we're going to distribute 1,000 books to several thousand books and several hundred Chromebooks over the next few days? What's your plan, Marty?
I completely have no idea.
Okay, Tim, what's your plan then?
Tim, can you tell us how we're going to do that?
Marty, go ahead. No, really, go ahead.
There is a diagram behind me.
There is a diagram behind you. We are going to do an activity actually over the space of 4 days called our readiness days. And it's going to encompass the day before school and then the first 3 days of school to work to get all the needed materials out. And actually our departments are all really thinking about what is needed. And I'm sure we will have to have a couple versions of this maybe down the road too, and maybe have some modifications. But currently we're looking at September 8th through the 11th, 12 to 4 on those days. And I'm doing my best to have it be kind of in somewhat an alpha order, but I know that some of you may need some flexibility. So just feel free to get here sometime during those times. 9th graders are on the 8th, 10th graders on the 9th, 11th graders are on the 10th of September, and 12th graders are on the 11th. And we'll work to distribute those materials.
Marty, what if my family, there's 2 kids that are in high school? What do I need to come back twice, or is there a way we can make that all work out?
if you let us know, we can probably try. I mean, we can probably figure that out. It's just, I would say, I think we can get that done. Just maybe drop an email to myself and or Mrs. Halterman or Mr. Graham. And but Mrs. Halterman and myself split the alpha, A through L, M through Z. So I'm the second half, she's the first half, and we can maybe figure, we can probably make a plan for that.
And I appreciate your thinking on this. We're trying to keep families safe, so everybody will be wearing masks. They're going to be limited interaction.
Will be a drive-through.
But
Will
it's
be a drive-through.
A drive-through loop. You get your textbook. If you need a Chromebook, we'll check it all out to you. Our math teachers are making packets. I know English teachers are making some textbook packets. Reading, whatever you need. So be safe, mask up, and we'll see you on those 4 days. So thank you, Mr. Reed, for your thinking on that. Ms. Halterman, I know there's lots of questions. My emails had lots of questions about what the first day of school and those first couple of days of school are going to look like. I know you and your team have been thinking about that. Can you tell us what that's about?
Yes, I'm so excited to talk to families about the first couple of days of school. We've been working really hard to make it a great, welcoming experience. We're calling this our Resilient Strong Return. And so Wednesday, September 9th is our students' first day of school, and they'll be starting off at 8:20 with their homeroom. Homeroom is a new thing we're doing this year, not like advisory, a little bit different. And so students, you will get a email from your homeroom teacher eventually that has a code for you. So you can either Google in or Zoom in, depending on your teacher. And in homeroom, you're going to go over all kinds of great things. You're going to do some activities to get to know some people. You're going to talk about expectations online. You're going to talk about maybe what your setup at home should look like so you can be successful at home. And so that's the first part of the day. And then after we have a quick break, a 10-minute break, then you'll move into your class meetings. So we will have class meetings, freshmen, welcome to our class of 2024. You'll have your own class meeting with Mr. Reed, I believe, and I think Mr. Graham as well.
Graham will join me, I think.
I'll be there.
Each class will have a different meeting, and we'll go over all those logistics and rules and all that great stuff. And then you'll have the afternoon to students will have the afternoon to plan their space and get ready for what's to come. We are on a little bit of a shorter schedule those first 3 days of school to give our teachers some time to plan and get ready to have a great first full week the next week. So then on Thursday, you'll be starting with first period around 8:20. You'll do first, second, and third for about 50 minutes each. And then on Friday, 4, 5, and 6, same deal, same schedule. So we're really looking forward to those first couple of days. We want to get connected. We want to stay connected this year. That's another goal of my team, is to really get those connections going. So we're going to start some clubs virtually. We're going to get into activities, and we're gonna do the best we can.
I'm raising my hand, Mr. Broom.
Oh, yes, Mr. Reed. Question?
What I wanted to let you guys know is that classes will be done, though, on those days prior to your ability to come access the materials. So our readiness days will take place. Classes will be done around 11, I think it's 11:10 or 11:20. So it'll give you time to, if you are in that 12 to 1 time slot, to be able to pop on over.
Yeah, so after our class meetings in the afternoon, that's when we're doing those pickup days.
I think that's awesome. And what I want as a principal here for all of our students is not just to understand the academics, but how can we create meaning and purpose in our schooling, and how do we create a school spirit? And it's not easy, but we're fully committed to maximizing this opportunity that we have right now. And every single one of us wishes that they were in a classroom. I have been in a classroom for the last 36 years straight. And that's what I know and love, and that's where my heart is. And we're going to make an incredible experience out of this year. As long as you show up, you've got a charged Chromebook, and you're ready to go. So thank you, Mrs. Halterman, for you and your team. And Tim Graham, let's talk about what could be done at home, because now people are going, oh, well, what do I need to do to be ready? So Tim, what do they need to do to be ready to learn on first day of school?
Other than air guitar? Come on,
air guitar. You can always go.
Video games. Let's go, Tim.
Yeah.
All right.
Things we can be working on, and again, we'll help you create those spaces when you get back to, when we're back in our Zoom meetings. But, to start with, build yourself a schedule. What is that going to look like? Those schedules will come out. So when you're getting up in the morning, when you're going to have your breakfast, when you're going to end up, going to each one of your classes that we have already lined out for you, and you should be able to see those online. Make sure your area is comfortable. It's well lit. Your Chromebook's there. All the materials you need are right there. You're not going to go searching for them quickly as soon as that Zoom our Google Meets starts up in your classroom, so you have all those things ready. You want it to be quiet so you don't get interrupted easily with your siblings or your mom and dad working with you, or that sort of thing. And also an area where you can easily take a break. We're going to make sure that we're taking breaks as well. We're not going to kill you as 6.5 hours of online schooling. So
Way too much.
areas for you to take breaks. So if any of you else have suggestions, anything else that they would need to have for their space to learn in?
Start working on waking up a little bit earlier every day. Maybe you have to set 10 alarms on your clock on your phone every 5 minutes. Just kind of get used to that.
Yeah, and Mr. Broom has advocated for a little later start, which is nice, so that you can, it's not that getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning and taking your shower and getting yourself ready so you can get on the bus and get here in time. I mean, you can wake up, look presentable, and be right online on time.
Yeah, and I think the challenge, and Mr. Graham has really expressed it, is that how do we build that routine in, that predictability, but then also provide families with the flexibility that they need. And so in our next episode of Tumwater Talk, we're going to talk a little bit more about how we get that balance and that rhythm in our families' lives. So I appreciate all your work to make sure that we're getting ready for the first day of school. And we have 100 more questions that we haven't answered, but we're not going to cover today. I'm going to leave you with this, families, though, and it's going to take a really big community effort to make this work. But I'm a huge believer in what we do here, and I'm a huge believer in the public school system, and I know we can do this. T-Birds have overcome much. Pride, tradition, and courage are the things that we're about, and what I'm excited to see is our T-Birds step up to the plate, learn in ways they didn't learn before, leave your baggage behind. Last spring was last spring. It was very different. We know that grades didn't matter a whole ton and attendance didn't matter a whole ton. And so now is a different spot. We are more ready and kids are more ready. And we're just excited to see what we can pull off. I want to be the model for how to do this across the state. And we have the right staff on board to do it. And we have the right students. And I'm just excited to see what happens. So T-Birds, this is the end of T-Bird Talk, episode 1. Thank you to my friends and colleagues, Mr. Graham, Ms. Halterman, and Mr. Reed. And we are going to close off this episode. So thank you. Everybody do the famous Zoom wave. Everybody. Bye.
Excited to see you soon.
See you guys, everybody.